On the Radio is brought to you by Zurich Insurance, the perfect place to catch up with all things Melbourne. If you enjoy this content and want more inside access from the team, make sure you visit the club website.
Welcome back. Great to have your company. I think any Melbourne supporter would be pretty satisfied and happy the fact that their team sits on top of the ladder after 18 rounds of footy, but there are some challenges they have to deal with before the finals arrive, and we thought we'd go to Jack Viney. He doesn't pull any punches. Wisp, he'll give it to us straight. He's on his way to training as we speak. Jack, welcome to you.
Good morning, Gary. Good morning, Tim.
Traffic light today, I would think, on the way out. Beautiful morning into Casey Fields, God's country. God's country. Well, have you bought some land out there, have you?
Yeah, plenty of space to practice our game, mate.
Hey, Jack, good morning to you. When you play a game like you did on Saturday night, it's a draw, and you're sitting down in the rooms post-game, what are you thinking about the actual outcome of the game? And is it an odd, empty feeling?
Yeah, to be honest, I think it was a really weird feeling because of having no crowds, but definitely the mood in the rooms after the game were like we lost. We were highly disappointed with the result and our performance. So I suppose how we've treated it is as if we lost, it is good to have that, those 2 points though. 2 is better than nothing, and does keep us above the Geelong and Doggies who have, playing some really good football.
No crowd, getting yourself up for those games, no atmosphere. Do you find that difficult?
This is my first game this season with no crowds, and it's definitely a different feeling. Definitely requires a slight mentality shift. But we're that well trained up, and we prepare all week for no crowd, so it doesn't affect us a great deal, but certainly a few little shifts in mentality.
So the whole footy world sitting here, Jack, trying to work out what it is about the Demons who can 6 and zip against the top teams and have lost 3 against teams that aren't contending. What's your take on it?
That's a great question, Gaz. And yeah, we've got to get better at performing consistently and being unconditional against the top teams and the bottom teams. I think sitting on the top of the ladder, we understand that these teams are coming to knock us off, and we probably haven't gone into games against the bottom sides as strongly as how we approach the top end teams, because we know if we're not on our game against the top end teams, we'll get found out. So there's probably just I think just that intensity from the get go against these bottom end teams.
What about the last couple of weeks, Jack? Your mates, Ollie Wines, Port Adelaide, you played against him or in the midfield against him, Tom Mitchell at the weekend. Is that hard to come up against your best buddies?
It's not really, mate. I'm a pretty competitive human. As soon as we cross the white line, there's a job to be done, and I enjoy winning. So I try and play my role and help the team go over the line.
Were you surprised by Hawthorn's competitiveness at the weekend?
Not really. I mean, all week we our preparation and our opposition analysis was, we rated Hawthorn really highly, especially after the bye, the kind of football they've been playing. So we knew we were coming up against a team that's being underrated, and they've obviously got some bulls in the midfield there. So when they came out, it wasn't too surprising. We just couldn't match it.
How's your foot going? You've had a few issues over the last couple of years with it, and you missed a lot of footy again. How's it tracking at the moment?
Yeah, it's going really well, thanks, Gaz. I'm feeling really confident, and now I'm back in for roughly a month. starting to just, recover better, and feel like that match fitness is coming back, and it just feels good to be training and playing consistently again. I've been in this position a few times, so you sort of keep it going, and hopefully that trend continues into the back end of the season and into the September.
And the Bulldogs, for the second time, you'll play again without the crowds and all that sort of stuff. They got an elite midfield group. The two midfields are going to be fascinating to see how they go about it. When will you get your assignment, if in fact you've got one?
Probably after main training, I reckon. So probably after tomorrow's session, I'm sure Goody or the coaches will let me know what the goal is.
You said you're a competitive animal. Do you ever walk in and say, "I want him"? There's one right there. I want him.
I'm always putting my hand up, mate. If there's a role needed to get the job done, I'm the first one saying, let me at him. So I'm, Doggy, like you said, you could pick any one of the dogs midfielders to try and shut down. They're going really strongly, and obviously their engine room is their strength. So we'll get through training tomorrow, and I'm sure Goody will let me know what the plan is.
Talking to Jack Viney, he's on his way to training at Casey Fields this morning. Jack, we know that Goody's very popular with the players, but who does Goody sort of favour a little bit? The coaches, they've always got a couple of pets.
Yeah. Well, that's a good question. The skipper one, Gorney. He's one of Goody's favourites. The tracker, but it's a bit of a father relationship, that one. He puts him under the wing, but not afraid to give track a whack at the same time. Ed Langdon's probably the golden child, I think.
Oh, yeah, that's nice. That's a good thought. Hey, what about your old man who's gone out onto the farm? He thinks he's got 1,000 acres. Have you been out there at all? How's he tracking?
Yeah, I try and get out as much as I can, Gaz. He's on a bit of land now. Reckons he's a farmer, although he's got two lambs there at the minute, and he's classified that as farming. But no, it's a great part of the world. I love getting there and just getting out of the city. And, grew up in Echuca, so consider myself a country boy. So it's good to get back to the roots.
The old man, he bought a vineyard, didn't he? And then just sort of ripped it all up. Did he find some good wine in a cellar there somewhere?
Yeah, he did find some good wine. He, I think there was a couple of 1989 bottles floating around the vineyard. Although we've tried opening them up, and they're no good. But it's cool to put up on the mantelpiece as a bit of history.
Nice to talk, Jack. Enjoy training this morning, and it's a very exciting 5 weeks, not only for the players, but also, as you would appreciate, the Melbourne supporting group are getting pretty excited. So we look forward with great interest, and we watch with interest to see how the boys bounce back against the Dogs on the weekend.
Thanks, Gary. Thanks for having me on.